Welcome to Vietnam Heartstrings, where every story is a thread woven into the fabric of culture, resilience, and love. Today, let me take you to the ancient town of Hoi An, a place where the river reflects golden lights, and every lantern that sways in the breeze carries with it the whispers of the past. Hidden behind that glow is the story of a woman, Bà Tâm, a weaver whose quiet hands have kept an old tradition alive when the world seemed ready to forget. Bà Tâm was 65 when the rhythm of her life began to falter. For more than 40 years, she had sat beside her wooden loom, in a modest shop with paint faded by sun and rain, weaving silk into clothes and lanterns. Her grandmother's hands had once guided hers, and with every knot, every thread, she felt the weight of a lineage that stretched back generations. Tourists strolled through the lantern-lit streets of Hoi An, marveling at the beauty she helped preserve, snapping photos of the glowing silken orbs. Though she was never wealthy, her days carried the richness of purpose. The hum of the loom, the rustle of silk, the pride of knowing her craft held a fragment of her family's soul. But time, like the Thursday-born river, flows forward and never looks back. Slowly, electric bulbs replaced silk lanterns. Younger generations left weaving for modern jobs that promised better pay and easier lives. The once bustling shop fell quiet, the threads on her loom gathered dust. Some nights, when the town glowed bright with neon lights instead of handmade lanterns, she lay awake, wondering if her art would fade with her last breath. Her heart grew heavy with a single question: would the world still remember the beauty of a hand-woven lantern? Then came an afternoon heavy with the humidity of central Vietnam. The streets echoed with the chatter of tourists, yet inside her shop, silence reigned, until a young woman stepped through the door. Her name was Sophie, a traveler from France. In her hands, she held one of Bà Tâm lanterns, its silk shimmering faintly in the sunlight. With eyes wide with wonder, she asked softly, "Can you teach me?" At first, Bà Tâm hesitated. Her fingers, now stiff with age, trembled with doubt. Could she still pass on what had been etched into her body over decades? But something in Sophie's voice, earnest, reverent, almost like a plea, ignited a flicker deep inside her. She nodded, and that day, the shop once again heard the clatter of the loom. She guided Sophie's hands, threading silk, knotting edges, shaping bamboo frames. Hours slipped by unnoticed, and when Sophie finally held her first glowing lantern, Bà Tâm eyes softened with tears. It was not just light, it was the spark of renewal. Yet the road was not easy. Some days, Sophie's hands fumbled, breaking fragile threads, her shoulders slumping with frustration. Bà Tâm too battled her own weariness, her patience fraying as her body resisted her spirit's will. Outside, neighbors shook their heads, whispering, "Why cling to an old craft? It has no future." But Bà Tâm remembered her grandmother's words: "Every thread holds a story. If you stop weaving, the story ends." So she persisted. One by one, she opened her doors to others, local children curious about their heritage, passing travelers eager for more than souvenirs. Her quiet home slowly transformed into a weaving school. Laughter mixed with the creak of looms, the hush of silk-brushing fingers was joined by the chatter of new friendships. And each time a lantern was finished, whether by a child's clumsy hands or a tourist's determined effort, Bà Tâm felt the old rhythm of her life return, strong as ever. Among her students was Min, a shy boy from the neighborhood. His family could not afford luxuries, but his eyes lit up when he watched the lanterns glow. Patiently, he worked, knot after knot, until the night he finished his first lantern. Its light was steady, perfect. As Bà Tâm gazed at it, tears blurred her vision. In Min's small victory, she saw a promise. Her craft had found roots in the next generation. The ripples spread beyond her small school. Neighbors who once doubted began bringing silk scraps to support her. Old lantern makers, touched by her persistence, joined the cause. Soon, the tradition was no longer just hers, it was the town's once more. And then came the festival. The night of the Hoi An Lantern Festival, Bà Tâm walked slowly into the square. Before her stretched a sea of light, lanterns of every color and shape. Stars, flowers, dragons, each one crafted by her students' hands. The river shimmered, carrying reflections like drifting dreams. The crowd clapped, cameras flashed, and amidst the cheers, Sophie, now like family, embraced her. In that moment, Bà Tâm understood. She had not merely taught weaving, she had reignited a legacy. Today, though her hands move slower, her spirit glows brighter than any lantern. She sits by her loom, watching Sophie teach new tourists, seeing Min guide neighborhood children. The shop is alive again, filled with the hum of tradition reborn. Her lanterns now hang not only in Hoi An but in homes across the world, each carrying with it a fragment of her soul. Bà Tâm story reminds us that tradition is not fragile, it only sleeps when forgotten. With love, patience, and resilience, even the faintest thread can be rewoven into the fabric of the future. So the next time you see a lantern's warm glow drifting against the night, remember her, the woman whose hands held on when time tried to let go. In Vietnam, countless ordinary lives carry extraordinary legacies like hers. What tradition in your life would you fight to preserve, to pass on? Share it with us, because when stories are told, they never fade. And here, in Vietnam Heartstrings, we will keep listening, one glowing lantern at a time.